bẹ́ẹ̀ látìgbà tí wọ́n ti ń bàbọ̀ wọn ò fìgbà kan tẹ́rì o wọ́n ti wá ṣe bẹ̀bẹ̀ wọ́n ti gbé bẹ̀bẹ̀ dé podium cinema ni wọ́n tún gbé dé podium cinema lórí YouTube ẹ fọ́lọ̀ wọn kẹ́ ẹ láìkì wọn kẹ́ ẹ subscribe ibẹ̀ lẹ́tì mọ̀ wọ àwọn àdé àbálẹ̀ fíìmù ẹ̀dọ̀kí fíìmù tó léfò gan tààrà podium cinema mo bẹ́rí fún yín fíìmù mẹ́sàn-án ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni wọ́n kó jáde o àwọn gbàǹkọ́gbé fíìmù èkíní májẹ̀mú ẹ̀gbọ́n èkejì my wet ẹ̀kẹta ọmọ ẹni ẹ̀kẹrin àlàmú èkó ẹ̀karùn-ún àìmọ̀ ṣe wá rí pé nǹkan kì í ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ràgó ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ eléyìí lẹ́ti kẹjù èdè Yorùbá ni wọ́n fi ṣe àwọn fíìmù yìí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹfà sẹ́ẹ̀kẹsàn-án èdè òyìnbó ni wọ́n kọ́ ẹ̀kẹfà tẹ́mà èkeje the casting ẹ̀kẹjọ M1 the detective ẹ̀kẹsàn 100 M1 the detective at 100 orí síríìsì lẹ́fì máa wò ó ìyẹn dàgbéléwò nìyẹn podium international podium cinema ẹ fọ́lọ̀ wọn kẹ́ ẹ láìkì wọn lórí YouTube wọ́n wà lórí Facebook wọ́n wà lórí Instagram podium cinema ó ti dọbẹ̀ ẹ subscribe.
Hi, good evening. My name is Babala Adekunbi, and welcome to the 8th episode of Dear Parents, a show brought to you by Podium International TV. And today with me, you guys already know, my ever gallant co-host, Zainab. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, it's good to have you here again. So, today, before we get the show rolling, we'll have a quick recap about last week's show. Last week's show was, why would my parents support me to marry a married man? And after the show, we had people coming to ask us questions like, why does she want to marry a married man? Why is she doing that? Why? Okay, let her marry. And we're like, no, we cannot keep this show to ourselves. We took it to the streets. We took it to the street of Lagos to allow other people share their opinions and thoughts about this particular topic of why she feels that her parents do not like her because they've decided not to support her to marry a married man. So now, in a few seconds, we'll show you the market clip. You guys should be with us. Thank you. So, while we're waiting for the clip to show and all that, I'll introduce today's topic to you. It says, why do I feel like my mother is turning me into a parent forcefully by making demands that are beyond my youthful age? This is deep. This like I can read the pain from this question.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to episode 7 of Dear Parents. We're on the streets of Lagos, Magodo, phase 2 to be precise, on the express actually. So today's question from the youth is, why can't I marry a married man?
You know, the people that, especially youth that have siblings. I've seen a lot. Like, you see when the firstborn is practically like the mother. Like, you will get some people say, I sponsored my siblings to school. Like, we just entered year 1 together. How are you sponsoring your sibling to secondary school? What are you doing? Zainab, what do you have to say about this?
Yes, I wouldn't like us to kind of divert the topic too quickly, because we should actually do a recap of last week's topic, which is the video that I really want people to see. I really want people to hear the voice of the street. It was strong, loud, and clear, and that's why we are waiting for the video to play just a few seconds ago. So let's just wait for the full video and then just hear the voice of the street. Let's go.
Okay, then let's wait for the video.
Okay, while the video is loading, I would like to just have just a comment on this topic. Yes, like, it's so funny that the youth do more than themselves, what they're supposed to do. The youth is and a child is meant to be a child. Not enforce, fine. The children should feel like, they should feel obligated to certain that kind of thing. But they shouldn't do more than they're supposed to do, because they're still children. We are youth. finally there are some there are some circumstances in in life, and where you just have to, the firstborn has to step in the parent, that kind of thing. I think that could be like in that kind of thing that that kind of thing hasn't like happened, but some parents are just like practically. I don't really want to use the word like they don't want to be parents. They are still out there living. They want to enjoy themselves, and they feel like automatically the responsibility to carry on the household falls on the firstborn or the next in line in the household kind of thing. And then instead of that child feeling like I should enjoy my youth, he's already overwhelmed with so many work, taking care of the household, taking care of the siblings, and then in that process, he or she forgets. The child forgets him or herself in that process, forgets to take care of him or herself, forgets to do things for themselves. They don't just remember that they exist. They feel like they exist for others, not for themselves. I feel like I really want to think that this is what this youth is trying to say. Like, I can't find myself. I don't feel like I exist for me. I feel like I do it for other people. That kind of, I feel like I do it for my other siblings. That doesn't mean that, they don't love their siblings, they don't love their family, but it's just really overwhelming when one person has to do everything, like literally. It's too much. Like, I can't just imagine this person's pain. I can't imagine. So yeah, that's just the comments I would like to pass before we go on with the video. But I would like us to really watch the voice of the street from last week's video. I really want them to hear what the people in the street have said, go on the roadside, what they have to say, their opinion.
Zainab, I get you. Your blood is boiling about this word on the street and all. Yes,
Honestly.
Don't worry. I promise you, we're playing that video. But
Yes.
We'll move forward regardless.
Exactly.
There's this Yoruba proverb that says, I will say it in English because already. So, but it's your child is not a washerman or a washerwoman, and she's bringing or is bringing clothes and dresses home, and you're not addressing.
Okay, I'd like to say that in Yoruba. Let me say in Yoruba for our Yoruba
Please
mothers
help
that are
me.
here. So the saying goes like this: Ọmọ yóò gbà ó kò gba àgbàfọ̀, something like that. Ó ń kaṣọ wálé, that kind of thing. Ọmọ yóò ṣàgbàfọ̀, ó ń kaṣọ wálé.
It's amazing that a parent, I don't want to say mother. Okay, I don't want to say mother really. It's amazing that parents would just put all the responsibilities of siblings on the first. Like, it's not a crime to be the first child. It's not a crime to be the first son. And you see some people, and it's so like they don't see anything in it. It's like that's the tradition. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Even me said, I raised my siblings, and I'm like, so there's this particular girl. We used to go to church together. I'm sure she's like maybe 14. Zainab, if you see this girl with her siblings, you would think she gave birth to them.
Wow.
She's the one bringing them to church. So she'll come to church early. She comes to church, like, let's say by 8 she's in church already, and her 3 siblings are with her already. So she obviously had their bath for them. I don't know if they ate before coming to church, but let's say they ate. She obviously fed them and brought them to church.
Yeah.
Then the mother will stroll into church like maybe 9:30, looking all glamour. And at first, I thought the girl was like their help, and I was discussing with a friend that even if she's their help, like, it shouldn't be that bad. And my friend was like, no, that's her first child. And I'm like, she gave birth to this child by herself. And I was not surprised when this particular child got pregnant at 16.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to episode 7 of Dear Parents. We're on the streets of Lagos, Magodo, phase 2 to be precise, on the express, actually. So, today's question from the youth is, why can't I marry a married man? The youth is asking, doesn't my parent love me? Why can't I marry a married man? That kind of thing. So we're going to the streets of Lagos to question the parents and see their advice on this particular question. So let's go to the streets of Lagos.
You cannot marry a married man. There are so many other single men you can get married to. So your parents asking you not to marry him.
Wow, okay, that was cut short.
Guys, are sorry for
But
that.
yeah, but
Network,
I
network here
totally,
and there. Yes, we apologize for
yes,
that.
but I
So, for
totally
those that are
get
just
you.
joining, this is Dear Parents, episode 8, a show brought to you by Podium International TV. And today's topic is, why do I feel like my mother is turning me into a parent forcefully by making demands that are beyond my youthful age? So, as I was saying before, the network issue happened, and I'm like, it's all shades of wrong, because now this girl already
Honestly,
has a child outside wedlock. Whoever she had that child
that's
with has denied that child.
wow.
You've put so much weight on this child that she has lost her youthful years. She has
Itself in the
let
process.
children be children, regardless of when you
Exactly.
gave birth to them or their sex. There's some people that once you marry the firstborn in their house, you are in trouble, because he has
Wow.
to he has to his sisters have not finished going to school. His brother is learning trade. He's like the almighty in the family, and it seems like, so they just pick the first child. Okay, oh, you are the first child, I'll send you through school, regardless of your age. Once you get out of school like this,
Hmm.
start. And you will say that we have crimes happening. You will say our girls are doing are turning themselves into call girls and all that. When they have parents
Hmm.
like this, when would they do that? When they have parents that they have to take money to at home, it's amazing. Like, you're
Hmm.
at 16. At 16, I'm giving my mom money.
This
What work am I
nah.
doing? Why would my mommy even ask me for money at 16? It's I'm
Nah.
like, it's so deep, because I don't know what goes through the head of this particular pair. I'm I'm trying hard to censor my words, because it's upsetting. Zena,
It
please
is
just take over before I say things that I'm not meant to say, please.
honestly like I always say this. The way, I wouldn't want to say that it's wrong, but I just feel like they as parents need to keep learning, need to keep educating themselves. Because it feels now she said it that, oh, from the scenario you painted, that I used to do this for my siblings as well. That means that was how her parents trained her, and she felt like she had to pass that on to her child. And now that child is going to have that mentality of passing it on to our own children. Like, come on, like,
When are we
come
going to
on.
stop?
That's where education is important. Like, they need, and it's not like school education or that kind of thing. You need to be educated about certain things that has to do with parenting. Like, you just cannot. This is 21st century, and that kind of thing should even be like, children can do certain things in their house, as children, but don't have put so much pressure, so much responsibility. That's what they said. Even in school, when we're in secondary school, they will tell you, or like first 100 level, first year in uni, they will tell you the responsibility of a father, responsibility of a mother, responsibility of a child. Like, don't be mixing those two. But parents of nowadays, like, they really, or parents of those days, they never really care that they have their own responsibility. They mix it up, like, it's crazy. And one of the things that you said about the girl getting pregnant is one of the consequences of of this stuff, of the things that they do. That is just one of it. There's so many consequences of thinking that, so many pressure, responsibility should be on a child. In that process, that child is basically losing him or herself. They don't even know they exist, or I need to take care of myself. That's why you see most of the time they're looking haggard. They will dress up for their siblings, and then they are not even well dressed. They're looking tired. And I'm just like, but like I said, there are some circumstances that they've never had a choice. Life can make you not just have a choice, and then you just have to roll with that, with that situation. But when you know that you have a choice, as a mother, as a father, you have a choice. Come on, don't do that to that person. Don't do that to your child. Don't do that, because everything in life has a repercussion. It has its own consequences. Now, seeing that child getting pregnant at 16 years old is your own doing. It's your own fault. I'm not going to lie. It's your doing. You know, if she
Good
felt
morning,
like,
everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to episode 7 of Dear Parents. We're on the streets of Lagos, Magodo, phase 2 to be precise, on the express actually. So today's question from the youth is, why can't I marry a married man? You know, the youth is asking, doesn't my parent love me? Why can't I marry a married man? You know, that kind of thing. So we're going to the streets of Lagos to question the parents and see their advice on this particular question. So let's go to the streets of Lagos.
You cannot marry a married man. There are so many other single men you can get married to. So your parents asking you not to marry a married man, they know the consequences of marrying a married man. You want to break an existing home. The basic thing is find your level, marry somebody who is single, and then build your own home. The woman has taken time to have had that man. You don't know how hard she had worked. You don't know her contributions to setting up that home. So why will you want to break a home? So the best thing I think your parents are telling you is the right thing. Even though you have rights to do what you want, but sometimes your right does not mean well. It doesn't mean because you are a youth and you are a single. I think the best advice and the best thing to do that is honorable is for you to search for a single man and then start building your relationship. Relationship at the end of the day does not really materialize into marriage, but if you're able to manage him and manage yourself, realizing the country that we live in, then you set up your own home. How will you feel if after marrying a single man, a younger person, a youth like you, comes struggling over that home with you? How would you feel? So your right is actually for you to do what is right. It's not even for your parents. If you're of age, you should know what is right. Your parents should not even. If I were your parents, I'll just keep you quiet, because from the onset I'll call your mother and tell her that you have raised an indecent girl. You know, because decency, you know, demands that you do things that are decent, that your conscience will tell you. Because there is no single lady running after a married man. She has at the back of her mind that she might just run a loose game. And you know, some women could actually be spiritual. The woman can attack you physically, but along the line she can also attack you spiritually. The children, if she has been blessed with children, could also go after you because you want to break their home. So the best thing is for you to do what is right, what is decent, what is godly. Thank you.
Ó pọ̀ lóríṣiríṣi. Ìdí ni ẹ̀kọ́ ìyìn tí ìyàwó bá wà lé tọkọ tó bá fẹ́ ìyàwó mi, wàhálà máa ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé. Èèyàn mi báyìí tí kan bá ṣe ìyàwó àbí tó bá ṣe ọmọ ìyàwó, á ní ìkejì ló ṣe, àwọn míì á máa ṣògùn síra wọn, wàhálà wa máa wà, ẹ̀mí ọkọ gan lè máa last.
So kò dáa kí èèyàn fẹ́ àbí kí ọ̀dọ́ fẹ́ ẹni tó.
Ìyàwó ò sí ilé mọ́, ó sì lè fẹ́.
Okay. So asa yín ni ẹ ṣe mà.
I'm not supporting that, because if it is being your own shoe that you have married to a woman and another woman now want to marry, could you be happy? Even that's what's affecting so many of us, because I can use myself as an example. I came from polygamous family. You know, the enmity, it causes enmity. And then once they discover that maybe the first wife, their children, their own star is supersede the junior one, they will be starting pursuing, because everybody no want to work labor in vain. They will now say how my own children will not succeed. And me as a first wife is now the second wife, their own children, they will not make it than my own. So enmity will start, and then that one can cause premature death, and they can turn a brilliant children to moral or to anything. So it's not advisable.
Okay, but that doesn't mean you don't love your child.
It's not that I'm not loving child, because when I love my child, because I want him to live long. Even I don't want to labor in vain. I want less of mine for my children. Because if you marry to a married man, if that the first wife is not have God fearing, she can go to any length. He may say, I will not eat, you too will not enjoy it, because to be sharing love with another person is very dangerous. So that's my own advice.
Thank you so much, sir.
You are welcome.
For my daughter to marry the married man, as a good parent, as a good father, I cannot advise my daughter to marry a woman now.
Is it that you don't love me?
No, due to the love I have for you, you cannot marry married man, because if you marry the young guy like you, you know, it's very good than to marry the married person, because I don't know what you call it. If you marry the person that you marry 2 or 3 women, it's not advisable to marry as a young girl. You know, you want peace for yourself. It's not advisable to go and marry you. If you want peace and you want good marriage for yourself, the person marry the younger one like you. As for me, during our own time, I cannot advise my sister to go and marry the person that you have already married, or even that person. But it get the situation whereby you can marry the married person.
Wow. Wow, no, the voice, and I told that the voice of the teacher was loud and clear. Like their opinion, they were literally against, a youth marrying a married man. Like, I don't think anyone ever saw that idea. So, that's why I just wanted to hear what she had to say about last week's topic, which I totally understand as a youth, and I've already, told the youth that asked that question, the voice of the streets. So we can always
thank you, Zainab, for always taking for always taking our questions to the street. Guys, if you're just joining, this is Their Parents, a show brought to you by Podium International TV. Where can you find us? Head straight to YouTube, Podium International TV. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and comment. We're watching, we're seeing everything. And guys, guess what? Today is episode 8. And today's topic is, why do I feel like my mother is turning me into a parent forcefully by making demands that are beyond my youthful age?
Yeah.
Zainab, just say something. I need to, every time I read that question again, there's this
kind of
rage that comes from within. Like, are you training your child to steal? Are you training your child to become a prostitute? Because why are you making demands from your child? And when we say, for this person that said youthful age, so the age bracket, this person is not working yet. This person is not working yet. She's in school. So it's not a scenario of, oh no, but she's working on. No. This person is a student. So I don't.
I'd like to pass a comment on that. So, some parents, it's not as if they don't know that their children don't work. Or, but what they do is that they turn a blind eye to that. They prefer not to even know. I don't want to know. It's better not to know than to know. That kind of situation. Like, I said, what has that saying? How does that saying go? See no evil, hear no evil. That kind of thing. Like, they will prefer not to know what you're doing, but they know you're bringing money home. But when they now know where the source of income, they're generating that source of income, it makes them sad. Some of them, they feel like, oh, shouldn't push the child too much. But, in order for them not to feel guilty of that, they would rather just not know, have no idea where the money is coming from. So, and also some parents, it's not as if like their intention is to push the child, too much into doing bad things, legal things, just to provide for their siblings, that kind of thing. It might not be that, but they just unconsciously do that. They don't know they're doing it, but unconsciously they are doing that. You're pushing the child to do wrong. And
I beg to disagree. I don't think you can do something like that unconsciously, especially when you're collecting money from and underage.
Yeah.
Like I bet he can never be unconscious. Because last week, it was in the paper last week, they arrested a mother for aiding a child in cybercrime.
Yeah.
Like
Their
the
parents
mother,
that
the mother is like the legit person that goes to the bank to help this child withdraw this money.
yeah. Their parents that would like
And
they
I
will
saw
be
it
there
and
to
I'm
even
like,
protect them.
they
Like
should
why
just
you
lock the mother
enabling
up
this
and
kind
throw
of
away
thing?
the key to the prison.
Yeah.
She's not fit to be a mother. You already know your child is doing something that illegal, then you're the one aiding, like you're
Yeah.
the backbone. No,
And
like so that's why
I
I'm
told
saying
you
that
like
there's no way it can be unconscious.
I also told you that upbringing also matters. Like maybe not necessarily upbringing, it could be the society that they grew up in, the environment they grew up in. So for that kind of
Yeah.
example, now I'm trying to kind of give the parents like a voice, try to find a reason why that kind of thing happens, which is okay in that kind of situation, the scenario you just painted now. The parents might have grown up in like an environment where that kind of act was legal to them. They would do it. It's a normal day, a normal thing to do, a means of survival, that kind of thing. And then she passed it on to her child. That's what I'm saying about upbringing. Some parents is the way they were brought up that they bring up their children. They feel like there's no need for me to do more now. Like and also like parenting doesn't they feel like parenting doesn't have manual. You know, you can't train me how to train my child. You can't tell me what to do to my child. Like this is my child. I give it to my child, so I will train my child the way I want to train my child. And that way is the way they were trained, and they don't feel obligated or a need to learn more on how to train children. That kind of thing. So and then in the process, they don't know that they're injuring the child, not physically, but you're destroying the child's life. You know, into doing some illegal things just to fend for the family. And the necessary might not even be in terms of financial issues. It might not be about money. Some parents, they have money, but they just do way too much. They do way too much. They make the child do way too much in the house. Like, is she the only person in that house? There are literally other people, other, like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, there are literally other people that do other things as well. So, that's what I can say to that.
So I even like so when I this question because the thing is I stay somewhere that I see a lot of these things happen. There's this
Yeah.
particular woman that I used to tell her that I used to tell her every time that one day I'm just going to call human rights for you. They should just come and carry these children. Like you
Yeah.
don't need
I
because
wish there was child service in
if you
Nigeria as
see the way
well.
she treats her firstborn is because they're a bit close. So her firstborn is 8, the second born is 4,
Whoa.
and
And the first one is already doing what? Though I'm
the
like
the
I'm
the 8 years old
suspense.
child is the one that see. I get the fact that you train your child early. Your child should know how to sweep this, sweep that,
Yeah,
but
but
your child is 8
she's 8 for
and your
crying out
child is
loud.
mothering your
8.
like she's already mothering your 4-year-old child. Like
What are you doing? Like
what does she know?
what's now your role as a
I,
mother?
I
What's your role?
I see them almost every day, and there's sometimes that this child does not rest. She just got back from school, and the next thing is so I would use another name, and the next thing you hear is let me just use my name. Kumbi, come buy this thing. Kumbi, plan this one. I'm like,
That's
this
so
child
upsetting.
just got back
Like
from school.
literally,
She just got back from school.
what time will she have for education self?
She has because there's no how those children cannot even. It's hard for them to do well in school.
In
So this
school,
is the one
yeah.
me I'm saying because they do this in front. So now it has gotten to the stage that when she comes and she sees me and maybe she sent the child errands back to back and she's like, so she'll say it in Yoruba, she's like, "Mi ò mọ̀ pé one big by I don't know you're around." And I'm like, oh, okay. So if I'm not around, you will
So
kill
it's
her.
when like
You kill her now because she's your child. But it's annoying. It's annoying. And the truth is, this child is struggling in school. Because this is the one I'm saying. Do I know what she does at home?
Exactly.
There's sometimes I used to tell her that, Shebi, is this child that will be making food for you people now? If she can do so much. And the second born is the most troublesome. And she does not do anything. So is this first born like
There's
there's one
always
day
that
that
one
the
woman.
girl legit, because you know that the thing is, if we're not careful as parents, these things can even build up hatred and anger
Thank
from
you.
that child to the
Thank
other
you.
child. It
Thank
can
you.
build up anger and hatred,
Thank
like
you.
because there was one day she said something and she's like, "Why are you so stubborn? How are you my sister?" And I'm like, where is this coming from?
Thank you.
It's annoying.
And
But this is built up anger. These two,
exactly.
8 and
Built
4,
up.
they are children. Children.
I support what you're saying. It is true.
Like, so
It
if
is
this child is
real.
doing everything, because at some point, especially the families that do, oh, you're the first son, at some point he will find out that he's living his own life for his siblings.
Yeah.
Where would he get to live his own life for himself? If from a tender age he has started living his life for his siblings.
So sad.
So
Exactly.
it can build hatred, and that's the thing. And why do we want to do that to our children?
Built up
Why? Son of,
anger.
you're nodding. What you have to say?
Yes. This is, I was telling you of like the side effects of, of this topic of parents that do this kind of thing. And one of them is what you just said. We already listed one. The other one you said is it can build up hatred amongst the children, which is true. Because anger can be built up. It can be years of anger that child has been building up, that she's not blind. Literally, she's not blind. She can see everything that is going on. Like she was not making up scenarios in her head that did this person actually give birth to me? Like, why are you treating me like this? And the other one is there doing nothing, sitting down, crossing her leg. And she's just going to be hating the other child for nothing, like hating her own sister. Like, can you imagine? You are just sitting down there, and then me, I'm doing everything. Like, is it that like she doesn't love me? Does she hate me that much that
Like, is she my
you not make it
mother?
look like
Is she my father?
you not
You
make
get all those
you
kind
not
of
make
questions.
household choice. You make it look like it's more than it is. You make children hate doing household chores. You just but I'm sure by the time she grows up, she will hate doing it so much. She's used to it, but she'll be like, this is just too much. I hate doing this, I hate doing that, And I just pray that she just doesn't grow up to think that it is right and pass it on to her children, do the same thing to her children. So that's one of the consequences, them transferring that thing, that upbringing to their own, children, and it goes like that, and then there's no cut. But if there's a cut like from her side, it's really going to help, because you don't want to be building generations of hatred amongst your children. Like, that's just a no, 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 no. So that one that you said, it hits because it's definitely true. It's true. Like the hatred is always like this, and then the anger is
Then
just
you
too
now
much. The anger,
you sometimes you hear them say, I made. Then the ones that do not now go to hatred, these siblings will now become entitled to the younger ones.
exactly.
So imagine a female child stops going to school so that her brother can go to school. Then if his brother becomes successful, the female child is super entitled. I stopped going to school because of you. Mommy and daddy did not send me to school because of you. So
You can't really
anything I
blame her.
demand, you give me.
You can't really
Anything I
blame
ask
her.
of, you give me. And I'm like, how did we get to this stage? How did we even
But you
get
cannot
here
blame her
in the
for
first
feeling
place?
entitled. You can't blame her. It's not her fault for feeling entitled. In that kind of situation, even though like she needs to know that entitlement is not something that you shouldn't feel entitled to anybody's money, that kind of thing. Build yourselves. But the parents are already at fault for making her think that it's right for you to treat her in such a way that she stops going to school, and then the other child now continues school and is successful. Like, automatically she's going to feel like, imagine if I went to school, imagine if they gave me these skills, imagine if I had something to start up for myself, build for myself. She's thinking that in her head, I imagine if, but now I'm not because of this person. No, so now this person owes me a lot. You owe me practically everything.
Like, and because
So you
of
can't
me, you are who you are. So as parents,
yeah.
the thing is, we both are not parents, but we see these things and we know it is wrong.
Yes.
How do they skip
And
these things?
I don't like that thing that when people say that, oh, you're not a parent now, how do you know how it feels? How do you know what
We
to
all know
say?
our
Fine,
left
we're
from
not
our
parents.
right.
Do you get? We are not parents, we are still youth, but these are the things we don't want to be doing to our own children. So
These are the things that
at
we
the end
do
of the
not
day,
want
by
to
God's
carry
grace, we're
along.
all
That's
going
why
to
I'm
be parents.
asking, like, I need some. So for parents that are on this show, and I'm seeing everybody's comments, and I appreciate your comment, but please,
Yes.
parents, how do you guys skip it? How don't you see it?
And as a
Is there
parent,
something that
as
we're
a
using
parent,
to view it from outside? How don't you see it?
exactly.
Because it's somehow, because
As a parent,
you
if
will
you are
see the
watching
friction
this,
between these children. Why are we doing this to our future? Because
yeah,
if they do not act now,
there's going to be friction.
if
Yeah,
they don't act now, they would act later in the future. Because the truth is, it will get to a point where mom would die, dad would die,
exactly.
and our children are not cordial.
And it's so funny that the parents will now be like, when there is like kind of fight, hatred thing, and then she's not going to be questioning herself that where is this coming from? And I'm like, why? What kind of question? You don't know.
Zainab, have you seen
You don't know
scenarios
whether
where they blame the firstborn for the things that the younger siblings did? And I'm like,
God. Because they feel like, oh, she should be the one to tell her the right thing. She doesn't know the right thing herself.
like,
She doesn't know the right thing herself, except if she's like older, like 20, 18. We can say that okay, she knows certain things.
and
There's
the
different age gap.
younger sibling that did it is just there gallivanting, and the firstborn is here kneeling down and saying, "Mommy, I'm sorry." I
Exactly.
see her. Didn't you see her when she was doing it? Did you,
Exactly.
did you see her? Is she not your child? Is she my child?
Mm-hmm.
She's my sister,
And
not my daughter.
and because of all these things, those children, they will now lie and grow up liars. You know, they grow up liars, they grow up feeling entitled, that kind of thing. It's really sad. Like, it's really sad, and that's why we're trying to change that, that perception of, you know parents doing this and that. It doesn't feel right, it doesn't sit well with the youth. For a youth to ask this question, that means there are thousands of youths that are going through the same thing and feel like, no, we need an answer. Why do you do this? Why? And then I'm going to think, is this reasonable? Maybe you should change certain things, maybe not do too much, that kind of thing. Like, you don't want your child to be lost in the world and feeling like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing myself. I don't even know the vision of my life. I don't know how to put my life together, how I'm going to be successful, because I definitely live and exist for my siblings, live and exist for my family, that kind of thing. And in extreme situations, she doesn't even go to school. She doesn't acquire skills because she's using all her time to take care of the family. She doesn't do anything. It's really sad. And then the parents now go and say, see your other sibling, they're doing this, they're doing that. Please, please, sir, whose fault is it? It is your responsibility to build a successful child. It's as simple as that. It's only if you try to build and then she changes or she turns, to the other side, then we cannot say we blame the child. But you didn't even give it an effort. You didn't try to make her successful, give her the right education she needs, and you know that you can do that. You have the money to do that, but you just chose not to. There are parents that purposely do not send their kids to school just because, I don't know, just because, and they have the money, or maybe because of gender issues. I don't know if it still happens now. Maybe because of gender issues, she's female. I'll send my male children to school, and then my female children, I'm not going to send them to school. I'm like, excuse me, like, this is 21st century. Come on, like, the parents should stop doing things like this. The youth are upset with them. We are upset. Yes.
So, see, like I always say every Sunday, this is not a show to drag parents or say that parents are not doing their duties. See, to every hardworking parent out there, we appreciate you. We love you. We're saying well done. But this show is a show to remind some parents, is a show to make them think more. It's a show for sober reflection. After the show, listen and you will just know that. See, I'm going to be a mother someday, and from
Someday,
this show,
yeah.
I've learned that there are some things that I should not do, regardless of the
To
fact
be
that
an
it
extent.
was passed down to me by my own mom.
Exactly.
Does it make it right? No. So this is
So
a show to make things better, and that's
yeah.
the only aim. So now,
Yeah, so it's not like Kumbi, I want to say something. It's not like you said, it's not like we're bashing parents, but there is this Yoruba adage that goes this way. Ọmọdé gbọ́n, àgbà gbọ́n la fi dálẹ̀ ẹ̀fẹ̀. So they stop picking the proverbs to fit into your own reality. Everything is true. Ọmọdé gbọ́n, àgbà náà gbọ́n. We cannot know as much as you.
yes,
But there are certain things that you don't know that we know. Trust me, that we're going to tell you. We're going to say it because we still respect you regardless. We say it in a respectful manner, respectful. So don't come for me, please. Parents, don't come for me.
yes. Olusoye Olamide, Olusoye Olamide says I can relate.
Exactly,
See,
it can
I
relate
get
because
it
it's
really, because
true.
a lot of people can relate. A lot, as in, it's something that, and the thing is, we were raised in a way that we can't ask questions. That's why we're here for you. Send those
You
letters to
can't.
us. Send those questions. See, you see Kumbi and Zainab. We'll help you out. You can we will just make sure that your mom is watching. We will help you.
Exactly.
We will help you out. Trust me. That's why we're here for you. Just send it. Send your questions. Because the thing is, I will go back to the fact that when parents start to put down their responsibilities on children, some of them come from the point of, oh, I'm trying to make my child responsible. But you should know when, and you should know when to do that.
How?
You should know how to do that. So now I just got out of secondary school, and next thing you're asking me is so which of the house bills are you going to be picking?
Oh my God.
Hello, mommy.
Hmm.
Do you want me to stand on the road? Do you want me to wear mini skirts and stand on the streets? If I'm a guy, just buy me laptop. If you will not come out and say, go and steal. Because the truth is, parents, that is what you are doing. That is, if once you
If
start
you don't
to,
know, that's
once
where
you
I
start
agree.
to make demands from children that you know that they do not have any work that they're doing, you know that,
Means of
okay, now
income.
the system of this educational system is strike here, strike there. We get, so maybe somebody just got out of 6 months strike. Maybe from the strike, during the strike she learned an handwork. She went back to school. She's making money from it, and she comes home and she buys you the smallest cookie. Your first question is, where did you get that
Where
money
did
from?
you? Oh.
But now parents don't do that. Oh, my daughter,
Yeah.
this biscuit is very sweet. It's lovely. It's entertaining.
Can I have more?
You get,
Can
so
I have more?
when they now start looking for your child, you now start saying, who did I offend? My enemies have got
Is
it.
my is
No, they are
my
your own
my
enemy.
village people.
You are
My
the
village
chief
people.
of the village people. No, but you
Exactly.
got yourself point blank. So parents, please, we are appealing. We are begging. We know that you are doing a lot. And as a particular wise woman will always say, no child came with a manual, and we get it.
Yeah.
Everything you are doing, you are learning on the job. Being a parent is a job that you learn once that child comes out. We get it. All we're doing, all we're appealing for is that you please take out time. Think about these things. Take out time. Ask your children questions. Parents, do not believe that you cannot hurt your child, because you might not know. Let me agree with Zainab that it might be unconscious, that all in the bid of trying to make them responsible, you are putting your responsibility on them. or go and
Mm-hmm.
serve daddy. We get it. We
Mm-hmm.
understand it. But please, in all your bid of trying to make your child responsible, please do not let them lose their teenage years. Don't let them lose their youthful years, catering for the things that they should not even bother about till they
Yeah.
are adults. Please. A lot of
Good
things don't
morning,
happen
everyone.
at
Good
their
afternoon,
age.
everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to episode 8 of Dear Parents. Now, we're going to streets of Lagos to ask the parents certain questions. Now, the question that the youth has asked is, why are my parents turning me into a parent forcefully? Basically, turning me into a mother and father at the same time. I'm still young. I still need to enjoy my life. Now, we'll go into the streets of Lagos.
Okay, so I was going to say this. Oh yeah. So like you said, maybe strike, that kind of thing, Nigeria system, and then the child can acquire like skills, to build him or herself, you know. And I just feel like parents that demand so much from children, like from youth, because they've acquired certain skills to do certain things, should stop doing that, because that child is trying to build these are her skills. That child is trying to build these are her skills, make herself successful. So it's not all the money she's making from the work she's doing that's supposed to be pouring into the house, pouring into the family. Like, how do you want her business to grow? How do you want her, how do you want her to grow as a person, as a successful business owner, when all the money is not even being spent for the success of the business? It's being spent in the house, on the siblings, on that kind of thing. So parents should stop. Not all parents do it. Not all parents do all the things that we're saying. Not all parents, definitely not all parents. But just saying that there are some parents that actually do this, and it is evidence. People can see. There is news everywhere. Like you said, the news of the mother, fronting for the child is everywhere. Is everywhere. We can all see that. Not all parents do. Some parents, parents that this is concerned to, should stop doing this. And if you feel like as a parent you're watching this and you feel like the parents that do this, you need to. If you feel like it's wrong, you can advise. Yes, working children also need to support their parents, but parents need to
100%.
know.
Yes.
Yeah, but parents need to know that it's not all the money that is being generated from that work that she's doing that's supposed to pour into the household. You need the same way you're also a parent, you work. It's not all the money you spend on the child. You also have businesses that you want to grow, that kind of thing. Let her grow her business as well. Let her say some side money. But if she does this, they want her to keep demanding, doing too much, doing everything. Like, she needs to build herself. She needs to build her own business. She needs to build her own empire. She cannot keep using the money that she's using for her business every single time. Like, for example, maybe she has like, okay, every month, oh, I will do this for the house. But then, in fact, before that month runs out, some parents, they will literally ask you every week. She has literally spent all the money that she has used for her business in the house. So how do you want her business to grow? How do you want her to build, what's it called? How do you want her to do that logo for her business? How do you want her to do that advert for her business? How do you want her to do this, and that she has goals? And if the business is not going well, business has crashed, you will still blame her. Parents, what do you want? What do you want? Because sue me at this point. I am tired. I'm fed up at this point. I'm crying on behalf of youth. I'm literally begging and crying on their behalf. Please, as a parent, if you are watching this, share to any parent that you think that is doing this. Even if he's not doing this, he or she might know a parent that is doing this. Share it, share around. Honestly, you never know who you are saving. You never know the child that you are saving, or protecting indirectly. So please, we are begging. Please and please, we are pleading. We don't know anything. We are learning from you, but we are pleading. Enjoy, please. Biko, any language, please.
So, guys, this week again, Zainab went to the street to ask parents these questions, because we both know that not everybody has access to the internet and all that. So we took this same question to the street. Guys, please watch and listen to what parents had to say. Please play the video. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to episode 8 of Dear Parents. Now we're going to streets of Lagos to ask the parents certain questions. Now the question that the youth has asked is, why are my parents turning me into a parent forcefully, basically turning me into a mother and father at the same time? I'm still young, I still need to enjoy my life. Now we'll go into the streets of Lagos to ask the parents why they think that they can be turning the children into parents at such early age. Now let's go into the streets of Lagos.
ìmọ̀ràn mi ni pé ó dáa kí òbí fi gbogbo nǹkan kọ́ ọmọ torí ọjọ́ iwájú. Òbí tí ò bá fi nǹkan kọ́ ọmọ tọ́mọ yẹn bá dàgbà ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn ó máa padà farahàn. Ṣó ti yé yín? Á di pé eléyìí mi ò mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe, eléyìí mi ò mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe. Òbí tí ò bá fi kọ́ ọmọ kì í ṣe òbí gidi. Òbí náà kò ra tó dálẹ̀ fún ọmọ yẹn.
Wow. Wow. It's part of the things that we are seeing. She's right. She has a point. But not every, like, when it's too much, you should know it's too much. As a parent, you should know it's too much.
Network is dragging this video, but we'll play the video because
you see the video.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to episode 8 of Dear Parents. Now we're going to streets of Lagos to ask the parents certain questions. Now the question that the youth has asked is, why are my parents turning me into a parent forcefully, basically turning me into a mother and father at the same time? I'm still young, I still need to enjoy my life. Now we'll go into the streets of Lagos to ask the parents why they think that they can be turning the children into parents at such early age. Now let's go into the streets of Lagos.
Ìmọ̀ràn mi ni pé ó dáa kí òbí fi gbogbo nǹkan kọ́ ọmọ torí ọjọ́ iwájú. Òbí tí ò bá fi nǹkan kọ́ ọmọ tọ́mọ yẹn bá dàgbà ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn ó máa padà farahàn. Ṣó ti yé yín? Á di pé eléyìí mi ò mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe, eléyìí mi ò mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe. Òbí tí ò bá fi kọ́ ọmọ kì í ṣe òbí gidi. Òbí náà kò ra tó dálẹ̀ fún ọmọ yẹn lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Ó lè ní yóò pẹ́ kó yá, ó lè ní yóò yá kó pẹ́. Mọ́tò náà bá débi tó ń lọ á lè wúlò fún pé báyìí la ṣe máa ń ṣe tí ìyá mi máa fi hàn mí, báyìí ni ìyá mi ṣe máa ń kí n máa ṣe. Ó ṣe yín sì yẹn ni pé ẹ̀kọ́ ilé ó ṣe pàtàkì bí ẹ̀kọ́ ìwé náà ṣe ṣe pàtàkì. Ìdí ọ̀rọ̀ mi nìyẹn.
Ẹ ṣé gan-an.
Actually, it's not good to do that for parents to force their children to do that in an early age.
Okay, sir.
So, but normally, as for me, actually me too, I got a daughter at the early age, but it's not that whether my mom or my dad forced me to give birth to a children at the early age, but it was just coincidence. So that's what happened. That's what I can say about that.
Ìbéèrè tèmi ni wípé èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ fi iṣẹ́ ilé kọ́ ọmọ láti pẹ̀pẹ̀ láti kékeré tí kò ní nílà tí ó mọ lára títí dìgbà tí ó yẹ pé yẹsì tó bá di ẹni ọkùnrin tí àwọn òbí rẹ̀ bá fi kọ́ iná ló ní ó fi kọ́ ọmọ. For example, ní ìsìn irú Yorùbá ẹlòmíì ò kọ́ ọmọ rẹ̀ ní Yorùbá, Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ó jẹ́ kí wọ́n sọ èdè abínibí wa nù. Kò sì dá ó wà kí ọmọ mọ Yorùbá tí ẹ̀ bá ń kọ́ ọmọ ní nursery school tó ń lọ láti nursery school kọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá tó máa ń ka nursery school èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ fi Yorùbá kọ́ ìbá àkàdé USA ṣùgbọ́n èdè wa wọ́n ti sọnù.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are back from the streets of Lagos. Thank you so much for coming with us on the streets of Lagos. Now, you've heard what the parents have to say on the streets of Lagos, Magodo Phase 2 to be precise. Now, I hope you will take the advice and make use of it. Now, we'll see you on the next episode of Dear Parents. Bye.
Zainab, I would like to comment on your Sisi Eko style, please. Thank you for always taking the show to the street. Thank you so much. So, guys, we had all our parents had to say about it. So that the last woman said something about teaching your child their native language and all. Yes, we agree. Then the first woman said something about teaching your child from an early age. But please do not mistake teaching your child to downing your responsibility on that child. They are two different things. Well, everybody has to teach their child one way or the other. But now downing your responsibility on that child is something else entirely, and that is what we're addressing today. So guys, see, we would want to stay here all day. Like, we would want to talk to you all day, but it's almost time for us to wrap up. But before we do that, Zainab, do you have any final words for the youth and parents?
Well, all I have to say, I don't know much. I'm still a youth in the process of, one day I'll be a parent. Well, I would just like to say that don't think as a parent, think as a person, that what you're doing, is it too much for this child? Is it too much for this person? And then if it's too much, I feel like you need to step back a little bit, reprocess things, because they can be overwhelmed at times doing a lot of things, so just step back a little bit, think about it, and then whatever outcome, then you do it. And if you still don't, if as a parent you still don't feel like there's anything wrong with it, it's fine. It's your child. You can train your child how you want to. But however that child turns out to be, it is your responsibility as well. You take whatever comes out of your training. Nobody can teach you how to train a child. But whatever, as any parent, whether you train your child in anyhow you want to train the child, just know that however that child turns out, it's on you. It's on your head, because that's just you train it. It's not your child. It's not anybody's child. It's your child. So that's all I have to say about be responsible to the end, and be strong. Stand on your ground. That yes, I trained this child this way. I said this way. So however that child turns out, stand by that in your decision. That's all I have to say. Be honest about it. That's just it.
Thank you, Zainab. It's always a pleasure to co-host this show with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Parents,
thank you so much.
Youths. For parents first, you do not have all the knowledge. Nobody's a monopoly of all knowledge.
Yes.
We should be able to learn, unlearn and relearn. Then I would always say this: we should communicate. All these things that are happening, the main problem is lack of communication. So when you see that your children start to have unnecessary friction, call them and ask. Do not just conclude and say, oh, this one is the stubborn one, this one is the quiet one.
The child fight.
Please call them and find out. You might be passing down something that is making that child become aggressive to the other child.
Yes.
And for youths, this is not an avenue to say, Chekumbi and Zainab said it on their show. No, we did not tell you to be rude, though. Yeah, when it comes to rudeness, you are on your own. We do not. We are not advocate for rude people. No, please. So for children, whatever you think that you want to communicate with your parents, and you think you can, and you know that, you might be too scared. Every mom, every dad has this yoppie auntie or yoppie uncle, has this very accessible auntie or uncle. Talk to them. Let them help you communicate these issues to your parents. Communicate.
And if you can't,
I always
bring
say,
it to us.
Please communicate.
Bring it to us.
And if you don't have yoppie auntie and yoppie uncle, we are your yoppie
bring
aunties.
It to us.
Bring your questions to us.
Sure you watch it.
Just send the link to your parents. Podium International TV on YouTube, and we will deliver this message without trouble. So guys, thank you for joining today's show. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you to everyone on YouTube liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel, Podium International TV. We've come to the end of today's show. I remain your amazing host, Adekumi Babala, and my amazing co-host, Zainab Yunusa. Thank you guys. See you same place, same time next week Sunday. Bye.
Bye.
lọ́jọ́kọ́jọ́ làbẹ̀wé kúkú dùkú lóko Podium International wọ́n ti wà tipẹ́tipẹ́ látìgbà tí wọ́n ti ń bàbọ̀ wọn ò fìgbà kan tẹ́rì o wọ́n ti wá ṣe bẹ̀bẹ̀ wọ́n ti gbé bẹ̀bẹ̀ dé Podium Cinema ni wọ́n tún gbé dé Podium Cinema lórí YouTube ẹ fọ́lọ̀ wọn kẹ́ ẹ láìkì wọn kẹ́ ẹ subscribe ibẹ̀ lẹ́tì mọ̀ wọ àwọn àjẹ́ àbálẹ̀ fíìmù ẹ̀dọ̀kí fíìmù tó léfo gan ta